Hey guys, it's Adri Theron, and I have another video for you today. And again, we're talking about Genso Manege, which is a new game that has been published by P-Cube and is being released on Steam and on Switch on January 31st. So very exciting. So the art's very good. I'm just gonna put that out there. The art's very good. So we're gonna talk about a route today. We're gonna talk about Arnaud, who is your childhood friend. Now, I'm only going to really talk about information that's revealed in the common route for the most part, and maybe some vibes from his route. I don't want to spoil his route for you, because that is the fun of playing the game, right? This is a visual novel. This is an Otome game. That's the whole point of playing the game, is to go play it yourself and enjoy the story. So I'll try to keep this to a shorter video rather than yapping forever and ever. But Arnaud is your childhood friend. He is a newspaper reporter. Now, it's not entirely clear, like, when you met him. Apparently, I believe it's, like, around when you guys were, like, 10, something like that. So it's not, like, no, a childhood friend. Like, so you're, like, 17 now. So you know each other for, like, 7 years, something like that. So... but it's kind of fun to be like, oh, childhood friend. And I was kind of thinking like, I don't know, even younger than 10, but it's just you guys met when you were 10. So he's your childhood friend. You do live with him and his family because you are an orphan. Your mother died when you were very young and your father died around when you were 10, and his family took you in because you guys were childhood friends, which is very nice. He has his mom, Alice, who is very kind. She basically treats you like her own kid. And you have his dad, Daniel, I believe his name, and he's a military man. And he does show up in Arnaud's route quite a bit. He does actually have a sprite, right? He's not just like a spriteless NPC. So he does show up in Arnaud's route quite a bit. I have only done Hugo and Arnaud, so he didn't really pop up in Hugo's route. Not sure if he's going to pop up in other people's routes. But at the same time, so like you all live in Blancburg and Mr. Daniel lives in Paris doing his military man thing. So I really like Arnaud's route. So just to give you forewarning, Arnaud's route unlocks apparently after you do Hugo's Amour ending. So he's kind of the locked route. So if you play Hugo first, like I did, you can unlock him right away. But if you save Hugo for the end, then you're going to have this route be the end. And so Hugo's route, right, answers a lot of questions. Arnaud's route answers even more. It's kind of seen as like the true ending type of thing. I don't really believe in true endings. The point of Otome games is you can get with any of the guys, but it still is kind of fun. I also like that they didn't necessarily lock his route behind finishing all of the other guys. Like, whenever that happens, that annoys the daylights out of me, because it's always the guy I want to romance. Always the guy that I like that is locked behind everyone else's. So I appreciated that. Arnaud has like two endings, the Amour end and the Reveille end. The Reveille end is kind of like, a bad end. Depending on the guy, maybe a bittersweet end. Kind of just depends. So the Amour end, Amour love, right? That's the good end. So there's only two endings. There's not like all these other bad endings. I like that. You may or may not. Kind of depends. I have mixed feelings about bad endings in other games. Like, usually like terrible things happen in them. So I'm kind of like, okay, not having a bunch of bad ends. So, but let's focus on Arnaud. Arnaud is your childhood friend. He has red hair. Character design wise, like, all the characters look really hot, right? Don't get me wrong. But I'm not as much into the red color scheme. Like, it's okay, but I'm not as much into it. Like, I much preferred Hugo's purple, or I really like Luciole's green. But that being said, Arnaud is hot. Arnaud is really sweet. He takes care of you. He's very protective of you. He genuinely is in love with you. And I feel kind of bad for him because it's very, very obvious that he's been in love with you and he's been in love with you forever. And you just have never noticed. So he is that childhood friend who's been in love with you forever trope. 100%. And, you know, it shows up in like almost every Otome game, and I still love it every single time. I enjoy it every single time. So I was like, I always kind of feel bad doing the other routes because I know he's like over there in the corner being like, oh, she never noticed me. But oh well. So at least he gets his route though. It could be worse. I've played games where the childhood friend doesn't have a route. So, you know, it could be worse. Now, how you view him, I'd say childhood friend. You guys do live together, so it's kind of like a little bit weird, I'm not gonna lie. It's like, oh, the guy like lives in the same house as me. But that being said, like his mom, Alice, adores you and absolutely loves you and would love for you to join the family. So like the family's all like, yeah, sure, let's go, guys. Or at least the mom. The dad, we don't, you know, the dad is weird. I'm just gonna put that out there. You'll see. He's like important, right? He shows up in this story. I like the mom better. The mom is like a nice mom, and the dad's kind of, you know, standoffish and not a great dad. So didn't care for him. Arnaud's always wanted to protect you, and this route's kind of interesting. It's very focused on Arnaud and his family, so there's really not as much interaction with the Reveille group as you see in other routes. So, which does kind of make sense, because like Arnaud works at a newspaper. He can't be at the Reveille all day with you, other than when like he's writing his article, kind of like the other routes, right? So he can't spend all of his time. So there's a lot more focus on like what happens after the workday rather than during the workday like the other routes. So I liked that from another perspective. And also he's just so cute. He's so cute and sweet, and he wants to protect you. And there's a little bit of angst in this route. Okay, just giving you forewarning. Is this like terrible angst? No, this is not Dandelion. This is not Jack Jean or Virtue or anything like that. This is a pretty light Otome. It's pretty fluffy, right? So there's nothing like crazy dark, but so far, only done 2 routes. So far, this one has a little bit more of angst in it, which I do like. I do, but just not like full-blown crazy. Okay. So I liked Arnaud's route. I'm really torn between him and Hugo, if I'm being honest, because like I like both of them quite a bit. I really enjoyed their stories. I'm also kind of just like, I like to know what's going on. So the fact that Hugo and Arnaud's routes pretty much answer all my questions of what's going on, I did appreciate that. So hopefully I didn't mess myself up by doing them first. We'll see. I'm going to start Luciole and try to finish his route, and we'll see if I enjoy that as much. And anyway, I'm lathering on. I would love to know, are you planning to get Genso Manege? Who are you interested in? From the get-go, when I saw the promotional art, I was like, Hugo, which is why I did him first. So I'm curious of who is your husband-o for this game, and I would love to know if it ends up changing, because sometimes when you play Otome games, the person you least expected to like, you fall in love with. Like, I'll be honest, like a 9-rep Minami. I love Minami. I did not expect to love Minami, but anyway, that's it for this little video. I hope to see you guys next time, and have a great day, and bye-bye.